When you say scholar, it is somebody expected to be scholarly and to be scholastic in his approach. In other words, he should be taking his insight from the Quranic and the Sunnatic teachings. He is always Quranically guided and Sunnatically punctuated, so to speak. So, a scholar in Islamic way of dealing with issues should be somebody that should have the following properties or characterizing features. He should be number one, God-fearing. Allahu Akbar. He should be upon everything conscious of Allah the Almighty. In talking about Allah, there are 4 things or 5 questions to be asked. Question number 1 is who? Number 2, why? Number 3, how? Number 4, where? Number 5, to where? I call this the quintuplet question for every Muslim, generally and a scholar, particularly in analyzing any issue. Mark it, any issue, electionary inclusive. So a scholar should have these 5 questions before delving into things like, number 1, who created me? And this question applies to all of us, but with particularity, with specificality, so to speak. All right, the scholar, who is a Muslim scholar. So who created me? That is, the answer is Allah created me. Okay. Number 2, why? That is, why did he create me? I give the answer, just وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ. That is number 2. Number 3, okay, how? How do I live to the expectation of my Creator, having created me to worship Him? So this question number 3 is interwoven, entangled, so to speak, with the second question. Who created me? Allah. Then why did He create me? And then, okay, to worship Him, okay, how do I do the worship? That is important. Because my perspective submission is anchored on the rationale behind my existence. Elections, academic pursuit, farming, whatever, are engulfed within these things I'm talking about. Question number 4. Where am I? Question number 1, who created me? Why did He create me? To worship? Okay, how do I worship? And number 4, where am I? Am I up to His expectation to worship Him the way He desires, not according to my own whims and caprices? I'm a human being. That is, where am I? Where do I stand in relation to that worship? Where am I? Number 5, to where am I going after my life has been terminated on the face of the earth? These things are very important in shaping your mind in trying to deal with any issue, not only electionary. That is important for any scholar, so to speak, who talks on issues that have sensitive nature, so to speak, like this one. That is number 1, fear of Allah. Number 2, that scholar should be knowledgeable enough to deal with an issue that affects the life of the society generally, not necessarily Muslims, the Ummah. Because in the hadith of Al-Imam At-Tirmidhi, the hadith is recorded in Tirmidhi, hadith of Abu Huraira. The Prophet ﷺ says, اتق المحارم تكن أعبد الناس وارض بما قسم الله لك تكن أغنى الناس وأحسن إلى جارك تكن مؤمنا وأحب للناس ما تحب لنفسك تكن مسلما. And finally, ولا تكثر الضحك. The point there is, love for people what you love for yourself. It mentions 5 things, but I'm only emphasizing on Mahal Shahid. So having said this, my perspective on the role of the Muslim. So here, the scholar should be the torchbearer. He should be explainer, so to speak. And the Muslims have a role to play in deciding who is going to lead them, who is going to be their leader, what are the features, the characterizing features of such a man that is going to be my leader at the local, national, and even global level. Okay? Because what I have chosen at the local level gives birth to the interplays taking place at the global and international arena or level.